Grand Rising, Elizabeth.
Grand
Um,
Rising.
yes. It's so good to see you all here today. Um, First of all, I like to give gratitude. That's my main thing that I stand for it. And first of all, for the health and wellness show, I'm glad we have it. This avenue. I am very gracious for that. And I am truly honored to introduce my co-host. I'm so honored to say that she is my co-host. Isn't that wonderful? Sister Stacy, aka Nurse Stacy. Oh yes, she is a registered nurse. And how awesome to have that level of ability on our on our team. I think it's wonderful. And she is also the proud podcaster of her very own show, Mindful Living for Life. Oh, we. So when you get a chance, please check her out. And without further ado, I would like to introduce Sister Stacy with Faith Fueled Boundaries. Ooh, saying
Hmm.
no without guilt. I'm gonna say that again. Saying no without guilt. And that's something that's a big thing. And so at this time I'm going to turn it over to Sister Stacy. Sister Stacy?
Grand Rising, Elizabeth. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get right on in it. I'm gonna go ahead and hit my share button. If you give me access, I can share my screen.
Mhm.
Uh,
You are now the co-host.
okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet, but
Okay, let me put that back down. I don't want to do like I did last week. Hit share.
there we
Okay.
go.
We can
Now
see
you
it.
can see my screen. I'm going to move this out the way first, um, because I can see this at the top. Hide the floating stuff, and then go down here and bring it on up. How's that?
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Great, great. So today, November 10th, we are going to be talking about faith-fueled boundaries. Yeah, I like boundaries. Saying no without guilt.
Hmm.
How would that feel? Be able to let your no stand out and don't even have to feel guilty about it. So, yeah, we're going to move along here. And this is what we're going to cover today: why boundaries aren't selfish. And we're going to be talking about faith plus common sense. And then the three C's framework we'll talk about, which covers clarity, your calendar, and your conversations. And then we'll have some ready to use scripts for hard moments that you can use in those moments where you feel like you can't say no. And then three simple micro habits you can do to protect your peace. And then live chat prompts, plus one small action that you can take for today.
Wow.
So these are signs that you need stronger boundaries. And anybody want to chime in at any time, feel free to chime in at any time. So if you say yes quickly and then later on you regret it, you need stronger boundaries. If you feel drained when certain names pop up on your phone, okay? I'm laughing because this is so real. This is so
It's
real.
so real, right?
Okay, so when your priorities keep getting bumped to tomorrow, like you know you had to do something today, and then you be like, "I'll skip it, I'll do it tomorrow."
Hmm.
Your boundaries is not tight, and
Mm-mm.
then you're often overbooked or running late for stuff.
Yeah. Hmm.
You got to run out the door and hurry up and fly down the hall and think everybody in your fly down the highway,
Yep.
everybody in your way.
In your way.
Get out the way. What are you doing? Slow. What you know? You know, I've done that before. And I've seen people do it too. Run up on the back of me and come around me and zoom up in the front of me because they running late for something. That's why I don't like being on the highway most of the time, because people be out there running late. And so they ain't got no stronger boundaries or something. Something is stopping them from, you know, being places on time. But also, if you feel guilty when you resting, even when you're exhausted, now you know you tired and you need to rest. But in your mind, you feeling guilty about taking you a nap.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a sign that you need stronger boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And
Anybody
now
want to say
can
anything
I
to that?
speak to saying yes quickly and regretting it later.
Yeah.
One thing I realize is that sometimes in the moment I might give a yes, but and then if I surely want to retract that, talk to that person. I mean, one
Mhm.
thing I learned is I can call them and say, I have to change my mind. And
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. At least do that.
Mm-hmm.
That helps that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people don't feel good about doing it, but I'm glad you can do it. Some people
Yeah,
be antsy, because I had a time when I was told somebody I was coming to their birthday party, and then later on had to retract
right.
and tell them that I can't come because I got another commitment. And then the other commitment was like, you need to be here. You're on a call. We're waiting for you to get on. And I'm like, well, you guys told me that I was in the wrong space. So I jumped off. And it's like, no, no, you're supposed to be on the call. And I'm like, well, I'm not calling my friend back and telling her that I'm not coming to her party, because I
Right.
told her I was coming. Then I told her I wasn't. Now I got to call her back and tell her I'm not coming. I'm not doing that. So that was a situation where I was like, I just, I can't go back a second time and say, no, I'm not coming. But I'm glad, in some situations I can do that, because I have said certain things that I later retracted. Like, I told someone in particular that I needed something that I gave them back by a certain day, which was
Uh-huh.
December 1st. And then I changed my mind, said I want it back by no, December 1st. Then I said, no, I want it back by November 20th. And they said, I thought you said December 1st. I said, I changed my mind.
Right.
Simple as that. I
And it
changed my
happens.
mind. So moving along,
Mm-hmm.
why boundaries matter. Whew. You can get burnout and resentment and grow. You can get burnout and resentment grows where limits are unclear. So if you don't have any unclear limits and you just let people just run over you, you can easily get burned out and resented. And
Mm-hmm.
that can affect relationships. And that's not good. So another reason why boundaries matter is because stewardship leads to people pleasing. And we'll talk a little bit later on about stewardship, how stewardship can be loving stewardship versus, just leading it to people pleasing. And then looking at it through the eyes of faith, the scripture in Proverbs says plainly to keep your heart, or keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the what? Issues.
Mm-hmm.
Issues of life. And there's some life issues out there. So above all else, we got to guard our hearts, because if we don't guard our hearts, we're going to come up with some issues. So keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. And then on top of that, we have a personal responsibility. And just think about that. Every man shall bear his own burden.
Mm.
I'm just thinking about that, makes me think like, wow, there were times in my life where I actually put burdens upon myself, like doing things for people and then later on regretting it, or doing something for a long time. Some things you could commit to do that has a long-term commitment. Everything is just like not okay on November 20th or December 15th. I'm going to do this or I do that, and then I'm weary about it and I wish I hadn't have done it. But sometimes you can say a yes to something that could be a lifelong commitment. And trust me, I know a
It's
lifelong
called
commitment.
marriage.
Marriage is one, yes.
A family.
It's called having kids.
You talking about a lifelong commitment you say yes to? And I'm just going to share this real quick. And Deitra, I see your hand, but let me just share this lifelong commitment that I committed to that I'm still currently in. Okay, here I go. Let me take a deep breath. Relax before I say this.
We didn't hear you.
I said, let me roll my shoulders back
Okay.
and put them down so I can take the stress out of my voice.
Yeah.
And take a deep breath before I say this, because I'm going to say this with all loving care that I could possibly think of. Okay. So take this from a loving point of
We
view.
understand.
I committed
Yes, you did.
to taking in 2 of my grandchildren.
I knew that's what you was going to say.
You heard me.
That's a lifelong commitment.
So first off, it was
Starting over.
Right. Huh? You say that again, Calvin?
Starting over.
Say that louder.
Starting over.
So
And capital letters.
initially, I don't know if I told the whole story, but initially it was foster care. They came into my house as foster care, right? Keep my shoulders down. And then foster care led to adoption. I'll make this short as I can. Adoption led to a lifelong commitment of raising a 5-month-old and an 18-month-old.
A 5-month-old and an 18.
5 months old and an 18-month-old. Now,
I
all
said
my kids
starting
grown at
over.
this point. Starting over for real. So then, about 2 years later, here come another one from birth. And okay, so that led to adoption. So right off the rip, he got adopted like a lot sooner than they did, because in between that time of me adopting the first 2 foster grandchildren of mine, there was a window of time that had to be set aside for the parents to come back and get their children through, education and training and taking classes and stuff like that. So that didn't happen. So eventually I knew when my grandson was born that I was going to have to take him in too. Did I have to? No, but I did, and I committed to it. And once you sign on the dotted line, it's no longer grandparent.
You're right.
It's mother. So I have to tell them, look here, I'm your mother first, and your grandmother second now, because it used to be vice versa, but it ain't that way no more. So we talk about lifelong commitments. One of them is grown 18. The other one will be 18 January 11th, and Xavier will be 15 in March.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Way to go.
So you talking about a commitment? Yeah, it's doable, but let me tell you, I ain't gonna go through everything in between that transpired, because we don't have enough time. So Deitra, go ahead.
Okay, truly mine is not a lifelong commitment. I'm gonna go all the way back to when I was in the kindergarten. So I was a little bitty girl, right?
Right.
But I learned a lesson that I hold to this day. In regards to like the faith lens and the personal responsibility, I was in a classroom, but I had some skills. I can draw things very well when I was a little girl. So somebody asked me, could I draw something for them, right? True enough, I was able to do it. And so I went out and did it, to showcase my talent. Lo and behold, it did not turn out good for that person. They did not like what I did. They got upset with how I did it.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm a little girl. I'm like, but it really made me feel horrible, because I thought I was doing something nice, right? And so I learned that very early in my life, that be careful what you choose to do for somebody else, because they might not even like what you're doing, not really, but you think it's the greatest thing since gold, but they might not accept it. So that was a lifelong lesson.
That you're not gonna do that again, huh? Watch that. Okay.
In kindergarten.
In kindergarten, you hear me?
Wow.
That's amazing how you can go back way back then
Yep.
That's talking about the little girl in you, you know.
Exactly.
And a lot of times
Exactly.
when we address the little girl in us, we can find a whole bunch of things that affect us back then, or that was traumatizing,
Right.
that governs how we flow today. And it's
Exactly.
definitely
True.
true. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
listening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Signs you need stronger boundaries. You say yes real quick and then you regret it later. I do that.
Oh, those times when
I used to.
I should have said, I should have did, when or like you something happened and you walk away from it and I should have slapped the mess out of them, or
Mhm.
or or
Mhm.
I should have said this. The shouldas.
Mhm.
I should have, and should have could be I should have just said thank you. You know,
Mm.
it's not just the I'll cuss you out, I should have cussed them out, but also, well, I should have taken that moment to do this or to do that, or I should not have said that as hard as I did. Those boundaries for
Mhm.
yourself.
Yeah.
When you said, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. And then you have to go back and
Mhm.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think the word that fits in here is the word integrity,
Mhm.
because no matter what we do, what we say, being able to articulate, like I don't know which one of you said that you had to change your mind about something and just go to them and just say, I'm sorry. I had to do that just recently. I was supposed to speak at an event. It was one of those church events where each they take a topic. It's usually the women's board or the usher
Right.
board or something. They take everybody speaks on that topic, right? And it was like 5 minutes, and she was in Ipsy, and uh, and then my brother Maji called, and they were giving him a recognition, and he wanted me to introduce him,
Hmm.
which I thought was a very, that was important.
Right.
And so I had to call Mary and say, I'm sorry, because I had just like the day or 2 days before said, yes, yes, I'm confirming.
Right.
And then but I called her and I explained, oh no, we're just
Mhm.
having so much fun. I said, I know, but this is so important for him, and I'm honored to be asked to introduce him. So if you could just, give me some grace.
Yes, exactly.
And so it was cool. I'm gonna miss you. We're gonna have so much fun and stuff. But just I found that just communicating with people, because
Exactly.
somebody might be disappointed. And then the other thing is that there may not be a disappointment. It may be, oh, girl, I understand, you know,
Truly.
and then you can go on and do what you need to do. I'm so glad that I did go, because I didn't know all the stuff that he's into now, which is a rebirthing of what when we first met. Anyway, but yeah, that's integrity, and integrity for yourself, you know, for yourself, that you don't feel like you've been walked on, slept, slapped up, and everything else, because you
Right.
did not speak up for yourself.
Mhm.
That one right there. You did not speak up when you really felt this particular way, and that could be good too. Why didn't you tell them that you like them? That one for the boys.
Right. Right. Right.
You gotta tell her you like her and stuff like that. Calvin, go ahead, babe.
Oh, no, no.
No, I'm
You
through.
finished? You finished?
I'm
You
through.
sure? Um, we're learning. I'm learning that you're always learning that throughout your life, that just because you didn't do it the way you should have the first time, you do get a do over. Um, being a caregiver, You always have to be conscientious of everything you attach yourself to, because you're always in a caring mode, but then you don't want to deplete yourself.
Mhm.
Right.
So you have that boundary, because you can be all over the place and then you're exhausted and depleted, and you have not given yourself a chance to recalibrate.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you can't be on the clock all the time. You have to have your downtime to get replenished. See, a lot of healthcare workers neglect themselves. You take care of everybody else, then you neglect yourself. Um, when it comes to your health and wellness, you set boundaries because you need your rest.
Yeah. Hmm.
And you're always trying to put out fires everywhere. Then something happened to you, you may be on the battlefield seemingly by yourself.
Right.
So always have something in reserve, some quality time for yourself. Been
Hmm.
retired now for over 5 years, and the most important thing I realized that your time is the most important commodity that you have. I've been a parent since I was 18, so I've always been giving and giving and giving, but now this is my time, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not being selfish, it's your self interest.
So let's move along to the next slide.
Hmm.
Boundaries, myths versus truth. So there's a lot of myths out there that we have believed for a long time. And one of them is that boundaries are selfish. That is definitely a myth. But the truth is, boundaries are loving stewardship.
Hmm.
And so when we think about loving stewardship, it's caring for what God has entrusted in you. And what God has entrusted in you is your time, your body, your money, gifts, and relationships. These are all loving stewardships that God has entrusted in us. And He
Hmm.
entrusted us in you in ways that are truthful, kind, and sustainable for everyone that's involved. So we have to think about everyone that's involved in that loving stewardship, as well as just stewardship in and of itself, doing it in a loving way. So another myth is saying no means I don't care. I used to think that, if I tell my kids no all the time, they just gonna think I don't love them, you know. But the truth is, a clear no makes room for a sincere yes. So there's no
Hmm.
sense of saying yes when you're not sincere about it in the back of your mind, because it says out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And then also, if you're saying yes and you don't really mean it, oh, sometimes you'll go back and say, I wish I'd have never did that for you. I wish I hadn't never said that to you, or something like that. And then you want to, recant it. And then it's almost like making the person feel guilty that they even asked you for something, or, if she felt that way, or if you felt that way, why didn't you just say no? Some people will say that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you don't want to do that, because, like I said, it dampens relationships. And another myth is, if I don't do it, no one else will.
Mm.
That's a common one,
Yeah. But you know what
especially
I've
especially
learned?
for leaders. That's definitely a little.
Yeah,
You have to beat yourself up.
right.
Stop that.
Yeah. But the truth is, delegation and delays are wise options.
Hmm.
And I can tell you, when I had my own beauty supply store and salon, when I tell you, when I was building that salon and getting that salon together and fixing it all, I had to go into the store and I had to break up the floor. The floor had to been breaking up. The walls had to be painted. People had to come in and do all kinds of stuff. I was the master of delegation. That taught me. I got my uncle to bang up that floor and his crew and everybody he knew. And before I knew it, I didn't even pay that much money to have the work done, because I delegated certain people to do certain things, and it worked out well.
Oh,
You
Hmm.
know,
good.
so delegation works really well when you thinking that if I don't do it, nobody will. No, I wasn't getting in there banging up that floor, because you had to have one of them jackhammers and go, yeah, because it was concrete, little tiny pieces of ceramic tiles. So yeah, I delegated that out. And then another myth is, I must explain my every no. I must explain every no.
Hmm.
You ain't got to tell people why you don't do it. And I'm so guilty of that. I'm telling you, when my kids used to ask me for money, ooh we, I would have to explain like, I can't give you this money because if I give it to you, then I got bills sitting out there, and I know what happened to me before. The last time I gave you some money, the bill came in, my check bounced because I gave you the money.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like,
wow.
I'm
do a
like,
whole life story.
always having to
Justifying.
explain stuff. And now I don't do that no more. And,
Mhm.
and there was a time, or many times, when I was getting ready to explain, when people asked me for something, I was getting ready to explain. They said, listen, you don't have to explain. They got tired of me explaining so much. They said, if you don't have it and it's a no, just say no.
Just say,
Because they didn't want to hear the backstory.
spare
Right.
me.
Spare me the melodrama.
Yes.
So anyway, the truth is, short, kind statements are enough. You don't
Right,
have to go
right.
through all that. And I had to learn that, because I'm telling you, I explained everything away because I just felt, I don't know, I kind of felt guilty if I didn't. But that's not the truth of the matter. Okay, Danielle. Well, Grand Rising, Danielle. Unmute yourself. Don't let the mute button win. Don't let it win. You're still muting.
You're still there. You're out there on the water, on the beach.
Come on, Danielle. Don't let that mute button
Okay.
win.
I'm
There we go.
sorry. Trying to find the button to unmute yourself is just weird on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I wanted to say that it wasn't until I went to Landmark that I understand that I didn't have to sell my story all the time. I didn't have to share that story all the time. That my word is just my word, and that's it. And I think all the leaders that I watch go through Landmark, that certain way of just being communication, they just said what they said and that was it. Because I
Right.
used to be the one that felt like I had to explain everything. And it's like, no, it's just it is what it is. This is what it is.
Right.
And to be able to have that confidence to say that and just keep it, keep moving on, it's invaluable because it's like, I don't know, when you're a person of a serving heart. You want to serve people as much as you possibly can. You don't want to let people down. But sometimes, when you have to change things up or say no, yeah, if you let somebody down, it's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
it's not gonna stop. Things are not gonna just collapse just because that happens. And like I said, I love Landmark and I love being around the Landmark people. I call ourselves Landmarkians because, like I said, we get it. And it's like you get to practice that on a daily basis. So I just wanted to share that, especially since I know you're a recent graduate yourself, Stacy. So
Yay.
That self-care and that self-love and that self-development all together is priceless. Totally priceless. So
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for sharing that, Danielle.
you're
Yeah.
welcome.
Integrity was after you do the forum and they give you a 6-week class,
Mm-hmm.
and they always say whatever you get is perfect for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And mine was integrity. My life was falling apart. Literally, it was falling apart. Um, it was messed up. And just that, how to put my life back in integrity around my life. Yeah, that was really the key, because all your integrity, I mean, everything,
You
as
just never
we
see the
learn,
shoe.
can be dealt with communication, right? Everything.
Oh, Sheila. Have you seen her
Mute
before?
that.
Oh,
Hold on,
Sheila.
Danielle, let me mute you.
Mhm.
So yeah, that integrity, just being in communication with one another. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
that was key. That was key for me.
yeah. And people respect that.
Mm-hmm.
When you live in integrity, it's very well respected.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a 3C framework, and this is it: clarity, calendar, and conversations. So
Mm-hmm.
in clarity, know your roles, know who you are and what you do, your values, and your non-negotiables. I have built in a lot of non-negotiables lately and previously too, but I got some non-negotiables,
Yeah.
and a lot of that is centered around my time.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Because you can't get it back.
yeah, you can't get it back. My grandson, example, he came up to me yesterday, said, "Go and pay my for my basketball, fee for basketball." And I'm like, let me think about this. I was like, no, I'm not doing that right now. You got tryouts tomorrow or Wednesday. You want me to pay for it before you get accepted to the team? Like, no, I'm not doing that. And he kept at me, do it, do it, do it. I said, no, I'm not. We're not negotiating. This is not even up for conversation. I
Mm-hmm.
will call your school and ask your school, can I pay this after, he get accepted to the team, or do I need to pay this before he do tryouts?
Right.
So no, I got non-negotiables and non-negotiables. Oh man, when I tell you I feel good when I have non-negotiables,
Yes.
we're
Yes.
not talking about this. This is not even up for conversation.
Yeah. It's like you are your own best friend
Right.
when you stand up for yourself,
Yeah.
Um,
And
no,
it feels
yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm. I
Mhm.
feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels good. So the other framework is calendar. Protect time with pre-blocks and margins,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so pre-blocks and margins, you're gonna do this from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, but then give yourself a little margin as well. Like after you do something, maybe give yourself 15 to 30 minutes before you pop into something else that will give yourself some time.
Mm-hmm.
And then conversations. And in conversations, you can think about these simple scripts to say no or defer stuff to later on or define your scope, without getting into a whole lot of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You can, have these scripts memorized in your head, as you might say. And then, so clarity number one, or the C number one, clarity. What truly matters right now?
Mm-hmm.
So you name it. What are your top three roles? What are the top three things that you do? So for me, I'm a parent first, a nurse second, and then a creator. So as a nurse, that's my job, and then a creator doing whatever else I need to do. That's my top three. So you need to name your top three roles. And then you can choose three priorities for the month. Get real specific about it. What priority am I going to handle for the month? Number
Mm-hmm.
one is going to be my health is my priority, then my family, and then the project. And then defining the non-negotiables, as I talked about. It could be the Sabbath day. You can choose not to do something on Saturday, the rest day. And then family dinner, you can choose a time that we're going to all come together as a family. And then a focus block where you're just going to block off something specifically for yourself. Like I like to block off time between 7 and 9 o'clock in the evening. Like that's my downtime. I want to go in my room, shut the door, don't even knock. Don't even say, hey, don't even come in between this and hour and that hour. Go to the bathroom down the hallway.
You had those signs with your hotel sign out on the back, do not
Right.
disturb.
Yeah. Or the door that says in use with the red thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then the yes, filter. Um, in other words, before you say yes, does it align with what you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you even have the capacity to do it? The wherewithal? Can you even do it? And will this honor in my season? Because it may not be the right time. You might be able to do it, but it may not be the right time.
Right.
And I know I experienced that in a lot of multi-level marketing businesses. People will come to you because I've been in multi-level marketing for so many years. People automatically thinking of me when another multi-level marketing thing come up, and they want me to just dive in. Like right now, I'm like, what? I'm already in one or two of them right now. I got a lot of stuff going on. It's not right now. I can't do that. Maybe later on. Circle back in 6 months or a year. Matter of fact, circle back in about 5 years. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the C2 dealing with the calendar, time that tells the truth. So time budget, talking about 100% time budget, you need to know where 100% of your time is going. So don't plan 130%. So don't have them 130% days when you only got 100% to deal with. Where's the 30%?
Right.
Pre-block your priorities, what are
Yeah.
your priorities? Put the important things in there first. If I show y'all my calendar right now, my calendar used to be really blocked up pretty bad, but right now my calendar, as you can see, they're coded with color codes. And so I do color coding on my calendar. So the red ones are really important to me, and the ones that are really important are at the top. So I do pre-block all of my priorities. And I honestly do not know how people live without a calendar. I don't know how they do it. But I used to do it, and I don't know how I lived without it now that I have it.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like I was saying before, add a margin in 15 to 30-minute time buffers between your commitments to make sure that, your calendar serves you well. And then you can communicate your availability. You can say to people, like I was telling my brother, I said, he's not getting enough sleep. I said, tell people that after 9 o'clock, don't call you.
Mm-hmm.
Better yet, shut your phone off.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let people call you after a certain time, because why? At 9 o'clock, you need to get your rest. You need to be winding down. You need to get your sleep because it's so important for your body to heal. So turn the phone off, or tell the people that are expecting a call from you every night at a certain time that I take calls on this certain days and in these hours or so on. So just be specific about the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Moving right along, I got a lot more slides to go. And then the conversation scripts that serve you, like you can just say a kind no. And you can say something like, thanks for thinking of me. I can't take this on right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't do it right now. Or you can use a system where you deflect to a system and say, I take requests through email, or what form of email you take requests through. Quite frankly, I like text messaging more than emails because I get them quicker, because I hate checking emails. And then you can say, I'll review that next week. So that you can say these things to yourself. Send me an email. And in my mind, I say, you can send it, but I ain't looking at it till period. And then you can defer, you can circle back and just say, give it a date. I'm at my capacity today. So, okay, come back to me or call me back next Monday, because right now I can't deal with it today. Or you can define the scope. I can do X by when, by Y. And then you can say, I won't be able to handle whatever the A through Z is. And so the faith anchor is that scriptural. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Period. If you do that, puts you in a safe zone. Danielle, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. I was responding to what you were saying about, just letting people know your boundaries, especially with work. When I switched over to doing admin tech, my job wanted me to answer my phone all the time. The
Mm,
problem with that is every phone call is a distraction. Even if
absolutely.
it's 30 seconds, it's a distraction. And I'm like, I realize I prefer people to text me because I can help you out whatever you needed via text versus you calling me to have a conversation. And I have to say, for like 3 months, it was a huge fight because they're like, you're not answering your phone. People can't get in touch with you. I tell people, text me. Text me. I can stop what I'm doing and text you and fix whatever problem you need in 30 seconds with a text than to sit here and have a 5-minute conversation. And we fought at this. And thanks to technology, my phone has the focus feature. So when I'm working, it's on focus. If you ain't on the list, and I love it because you ain't on the list and not the chosen one, you're not getting in touch with me. So I actually had people get mad at me because they couldn't get in touch with me when they wanted to get in touch with me. And I'm like, one, I need to focus on, I had to restructure how I did my work because I'm like, okay, I work, you can get in touch between 10 to 5. After
Mhm.
that, text me or send a voicemail and I'll deal with it the next day. But
Right.
they were so mad when people couldn't get in touch with me. It's like, well, you're a distraction. You don't want to tell them you're a distraction. I can deal with you later. So I really do use the tech feature, and I use the calendar on my phone all the time now. I really use the tech features on my phone because I'm like, if it wasn't for that focus feature, we would have a hot mess going on. Because I need to focus. I need to be focused on work. So now
Absolutely.
when I
Because
introduce
sometimes,
new people to me and I tell them, hey, you got a problem? Text me. If it's,
yeah,
just text me. And they are so quick, they're so shocked that I can fix whatever the problem is via text versus send they're doing a phone call.
Mhm.
absolutely. I understand those distractions because I used to have somebody distracting me while I'm doing work. And sometimes when somebody distracts you like that and you're doing something that you need to get done, it might take you a day or two to get back to it, maybe a
Right.
week because you have been distracted. And that's for me because if I have a little bit of attention deficit going on, and when I'm focused on something, I want to complete it and get it done right then before I move on to the next. And if somebody distract me, that's where I am. Grand Rising, Lakeisha.
Grand Rising. Hey, girl.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. I can't believe I came in on this conversation. May I speak? May I
Yeah.
say something?
Yes, absolutely.
I just got off the phone with a gentleman who was very upset because, see, it's not about us. It's okay. It's not about us. It's really about others. And so sometimes people like me, I don't like to text. Like I'm not gonna text you a long drawn out what I need. I'm gonna text you that. No, let me speak to you and tell you, hey, I need blah blah blah. I'm not gonna text no long text. Well, I need this. Can you help me? No, it's about providing good customer service. You're in business, and it is your job to provide good customer service. It's not about you. You have to figure out what it is you need to do to better be organized or get some office hours. You know, people treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Set boundaries. I'm not against setting boundaries, but my office hours is between this and this.
Yeah.
They deserve they give you your money. He said, I'm giving my money to this young lady every time, and I have to keep texting her. No, I want to talk. So I think that should be taken in consideration when you having customers that are paying you. Do you like it when you get on the phone? I'm trying to call the people to fix my car. That I got to keep talking to you know what I'm saying, the telephone thing. No, I want to talk to an agent. I want to talk to somebody in customer service. I don't want to be talking to hit this button and then you want to get that button too. No, what happened to customer service? That's all I got to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. That works in a lot of situations. And I feel you 100%. I am the same way when it comes to customer service. Get on the phone. I do not want to talk to somebody else. However, there are situations in our life where texting is so useful. It is so useful. And it
It
doesn't have
can
to be a
be.
long, drawn out thing. You know what I'm saying? It could just be a yes or no or this or other. Because when I'm saying from texting from the standpoint of if you need something from me, like Danielle was saying, just tell me what it is you need in a certain situation where customer service is not the issue. But when the customer service is the issue, I agree with you 100%. But when there's situations where you can communicate and it's not an emergency or it's not something that you've paid for or a service that you've gotten, texting comes in very, very handy.
No, it does. It really does. I ain't knocking that, but
Yeah. But I get you. I'm a
Yeah.
100% with you on that. Customer service is very important. I don't want to talk to somebody after I don't want to talk to a bot after I paid my money.
yeah. Or constantly texting you back and forth because I don't like to do all that texting. I'm not gonna text you my whole conversation of what I need to see. Can I just talk to you for a second?
Yeah, because sometimes a telephone call conversation is a lot shorter than the texting back and forth. Definitely.
Now, I will say this, Lakeisha and Stacy, there are times where you have to warrant whether the conversation needs to be a text, a phone call, or email.
Absolutely.
There's times where all three is suffice. And like I said, when it comes to me, when I'm training somebody, of course, I need to be on the phone with you. That's relevant. But if it's something that it's a general judge. Do I need a 2 second, a 30-second text, a 5 minute email, or do we need to sit down and have a conversation? And I agree. If you're paying a consultant or somebody that's working for you, cash money, yes, you should be able to have those conversations with them, within the time frame that you need to have them to get the clarity that you need. But like I said, it's just I do all three. I generally do all three because everything is not a text message. And I agree with you, Keisha. It's just a matter of warranting, what
Yeah.
deserves what.
And then developing your skills on how to get people off the phone. Like that's a skill set to
Yes.
be
Hmm.
able to get them to get they to their point of view, and then you being able to exit that call.
Good
That
point.
is a skill set that I had to learn, and I'm still learning how to do because I have clients that's long-winded.
So
Mhm.
listening skill sets. We had somebody come on the show talk about listening and how important it is to just listen what people aren't saying and then address their concerns and then move forward. But I'm gonna go on
Yes.
to the
Mhm.
next scenario. These are talking about tough scenarios that you have to deal with family, work, and church. And sometimes you have to set boundaries with your family, your work, and your church. And for family, you can say, I love you. I'm not available tonight. Let's look at Saturday or let's look at another day. And then with work, you can say, I can take this after current deadlines, or you give an established timeline, or I can do this next Tuesday. And then for church and community, ooh, church community, that can drain you. They can ask for a lot of requests from you, and you could be wearing multiple hats inside of a church. I've seen people wear about 5 hats. Everything they, every time you look around, they on this department, that department, they doing 5 different things and taking off one hat, putting on another one. And that's not good to be like that, because I think that you need to be loving on yourself a little bit more than volunteering for everything. And you can say, I can volunteer once a month, but not every week. I can be an usher the third Sunday, but I'm not going to be an usher every week. And, I can be, on this committee or whatever. And then emergencies. I'm leaving in 10 minutes. I can help by calling resources. So give some people some resources in case of emergency. And a lot of people have their phones set up like that, especially doctors' offices. They ain't even got to say that. You call a doctor's office before they pick up the phone. They'll tell you if this is an emergency, call 911. I had to
Right.
tell that to my grandson the other day. He jumped in the car and he gave me this paperwork that he needed signed out right away. I'm in the parking lot, mind you, on the telephone, talking to somebody, and he want to stop me from talking to somebody to give me his paperwork to handle it right now because this is so important. I'm like, can't just wait? I'm on the phone. Can't you see me on the phone? No, it's so important. I had to tell the lady, hold on a minute. Xavier, please wait till I get off the phone. And then when I got off the phone, I was like, this can wait. This was a Friday. I have practice till next Wednesday. I'm like, baby, this can wait. Hold on. But I need it done right now. I'm like, an emergency on your part. It's not an emergency on my part. And I should have told him if it's an emergency, baby, call 911 because this is not that, and everything is not an emergency. And people will make you feel like it is. And so, three micro
Calvin's
habits
hand
to
is up,
protect your
honey.
peace. And
Calvin.
these are just
I'm
small
gonna
things
say
that you
this.
can do.
I'm grateful for this session
Oh,
because we
I'm
do have
glad
to
it
have boundaries. Because when you're a giving person, everybody expects you to give all the time, and then when you don't have enough to give yourself. But thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So here's three micro habits to protect your peace. Oh, Lord. I always say, don't let nobody take your peace from you because that's all you have. So you can give a 24-hour rule. Just don't give an instant yes. You know, you don't have to just say yes right away. Just say, let me think about it. I'll get back with you tomorrow. And then you can have a sacred hour. You can one daily focus block without any notifications. You can say to myself, okay, between 9 and 10 o'clock, I have my phone off. Why? Because I am doing the Grand Rising Elizabeth show. That's sacred to me. I don't need anybody disturbing me and my phone ringing at that time. And then you can have a weekly white space where you can block an hour for rest or catch up. And rest is so important. When I tell you rest is so important, your sleep and your rest is vital. It's vital to your health. It's vital to your life. And blocking out some time to, just like when you tired and your day is gone and you worn out, take a little time to just rest, you know, and then you can catch up later on. You don't have to just like deal with everything right now. You don't have to, because that could wear you out, like literally wear you out, and then move along. So here's some case examples from being overbooked to peaceful, protecting your peace. Previously or before, when you said yes to every request, late, you're late or resentful. So if you say yes to every request, that could allow you to be late or resentful. But then when you shift it, you use the yes as a filter, using the pre-blocked calendar and the adopted 24-hour rule. And then afterwards, you can look at it and say, wow, I have fewer commitments, better follow through, and more calm at home. So that's the kind of things you want to look at, from going from being overbooked to a peaceful life.
Mhm.
And then your one next step. Pick one boundary you'll honor this week. Just think about one boundary you want to place in place this week, that you're going to set, that's going to allow people to respect your boundaries. And tell one person today in a note or a text or email, so it's real. You know, let somebody know. I'm going to figure out one today. I'm telling you, I'm going to figure out one today that I got to tell one person in particular about my boundary.
You're ready. You're ready.
Pick the boundary that you're going to honor for the week. Tell that person so it becomes real, and then put it on your calendar.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know why my thing all of a sudden says that my connection was unstable. Okay, there we go. So I want to say thank you. And I also want to say protect your peace and love your people. That's going to be very important.
Thank you.
And so James 1:5 says, if you lack wisdom, ask of God, and He's going to give it to you freely. And the book of Proverbs is full of a lot of wisdom tactics, will let you know how you can protect your peace. And if you don't know what to do, just ask God. He'll tell you what to do. He will definitely tell you. Why would He tell you? Because He said He would, period.
Period.
Said He gonna do it. And then let your yes be yes, and your no be no.
Did you guys get that song that I posted with the woman saying, I'll say yes?
Yes, it was nice. Yes, I did get it.
Oh, it- she sang the heck out of that. It was real.
She really did.
Oh, I got to check that out.
Yeah, you'll like it, Lakeisha.
Who is that?
Is what?
The queen in the house. Look like the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Sharonda's
Thank
hand
you
is up.
guys for participating with today and dealing with faith-fueled boundaries and setting these boundaries, because they are so important for us to live our life with boundaries, loving boundaries, you know, loving stewardship over our time so we can protect our bodies, our monies, our gifts, our relationships. It's very important that we do that.
Take your
Do
mind.
that in a trustful
That's
kind of
right.
way.
That's right. We have another hand, Sharonda.
Go ahead, Sharonda.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Excuse me. And I know if some people have to go, you have to go, but I just want to take a few minutes to talk about a few things. Y'all missed the conference. They did let us know really, really late. Next year I might be part of the planning committee, so we probably find out a lot earlier so y'all can come, because I know y'all would have liked it. It was really, really nice. But the theme of it, it ties to what she's talking about today, this one class that I went to. But the theme was rooted and rising, grounded in wellness, growing in power. And one of the classes that I went to was say no to mess and stress. And I'm glad that you went over this, because sometimes, we don't know what we don't know. And then after the fact, Dr. Sabrina Jackson, she gave a really good talk. I have to talk about that another day. But they said, who is a know-it-all? And the girl said her old boss said, I know what I know and I know what I don't know. Therefore, I'm a know-it-all. But at the same time, sometimes we don't know what we don't know. But when it comes to this, as Stacy did talk about unexpected events and things like the expenses and events. Sometimes things can stress us out, all those events and all this other stuff that is beyond our control. Sometimes we got to take time for ourselves. She said, take 5 breaths to breathe and rest. Sometimes we might have to journal, exercise. And then, with the 5 breaths, let me look that up. And as she said, we might have to give a 24-hour notice or whatever. But the number 5, it spiritually means grace, change, freedom, and adventure, and spirituality, balance, and dynamism. So she said we have to learn how to say no, as Stacy have taught us about today, basically. We have to learn balance and boundaries is what she's saying. But also in that, we might have to learn how to say no. Let me hear y'all say no.
No.
Oh.
But it might sound different for certain people. It might be a hard no. It might be, I'll take a pass. Give me 24 hours. We got to learn how to say no for ourselves. But I want to leave y'all with this. It was a poem that the teacher had gave, and her name was Kimberly A. Clemens. And I know we have our Elizabeth Bro on here, but this is for the people. But the poem is called Empowered Women. Strong and kind, with hearts so true. Women rise up and break right through. Dreams like stars, women like the sky. With courage bold, we soar so high. With wisdom bright and laughter free, we shape the world for all to see. Each step we take sets our minds free, bringing forth the promise of a wealthy legacy. Don't let stress rule. Don't be no fool. Wake up now. Women, it's our time to school. There's a younger generation of girls right behind me and you. They're looking for direction. Will we help their light shine through? We need each other. We shouldn't go through life with our heads low and a mindset that we are alone, carrying heavy burdens, even the ones that are not our own. We may not be where we want to be. It may seem like it's taking a while, but surely our names they'll remember, Grand Rising Elizabeths, because our hearts are pure, just like when we were of that little child, Sister Deitra. So listen up. We stand tall.
Yes.
And rooted just like a tree.
Yes.
We don't have to be fake, judgmental, or lost, you see. We must decide and declare to live up we must decide and declare to live our life to the fullest, living and knowing without a doubt we are empowered women, empowered people, victorious, yes, let me hear you say yes.
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 And women who have been, or people who have been set free.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
All right, Reverend Sharonda.
Right. That
But it
was
also
good.
applies to the man. It also applies to the man as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So it's empowered women like Kimberly A. Clemens, but we call it empowered people. How about
That's
that?
right. That's right. I received that.
And our boundaries, as she said, will give us our empowerment.
Yeah.
That's what you call self-care.
Yes.
Steroids. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that was
I
good.
love self-care so much. I'm telling you the truth.
Thank you.
I used to didn't care for myself, but now, it is a non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
PERIOTTTTTT exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Okay.
When you set boundaries, it also positions people to be able to do for themselves more and to realize the
Absolutely.
power they have. Because if people are so dependent on you, they're not dependent on themselves.
Yes, yes, yes.
And that
Good
happens
point.
everywhere. One thing about ministry, ministers do too much, but they need to be able to say, "This is your time to do it too," okay? Because you on call around the clock, and then you burn out, and you depressed and discouraged and beat down, but you don't allow your members to be the person. You say, "No, you can handle that. You got it too,"
Mhm.
okay?
Oh,
Delegation is
that's
important.
good.
Yeah. Delegation. Put that on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This was very enlightening to me,
Yes.
and I'm so glad you guys see some value in that
Yes.
and some value in this whole conversation. And so, with that, we're going to do some self care. We're going to love on ourselves.
I know
Yeah.
that's right. I
Love
know
Yes.
on
that's right.
yourself.
Yes.
Self care.
Mhm.
Ooh, self development. Ooh.
Mhm.
Self-love, right?
Okay, self love. Okay, and then we're going to sprinkle it out. We're going to hug the world
Mhm.
because this is going to give it all out to the world and sprinkle it to everybody who
Yay.
needs it, wants it, and care about it. Okay, until next time.
Thank you.
All right.
Love,
Thank you.
peace, and blessings.
Love, peace, and soul.
All
Yes.
right. Wealth Building Wednesday coming up.
Yes.
Mhm.
And you don't have to dress up. Now, it's not going to be like a gala event. So be comfortable, but be ready to rock and roll. Okay, we're going to have a good time. Good energy, good vibes. You know, the vest is going to be, the press going to be there. Black leaders of Detroit going to be there. Dan Gilbert Foundation, the Gilbert Family Foundation is going to be there. QT, Tech Town. And when I say it's about to go down, it's going to go down.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
This is
Yeah.
for
I'm looking forward
the
to it.
13th or what
It's
date?
this
13th.
Friday. It's
Okay.
this Friday. You have to register. Everybody has to register at DetroitElevate.org. DetroitElevate.org. You have to.
I registered.
So
Yay.
I'm going. I can't wait.
Yeah, bring your business card. When I say I'm about to bring it, woo,
Yeah.
I'm about to bring it, baby. Okay? If
Mhm.
they
I
don't know
revised
who
my
Natural Living by Design is, they
They're
don't
gonna
know
know.
that night. Okay?
yeah. I revised my why statement
Yeah.
down so low. I mean so small that I don't, have to worry about saying nothing long. I said it's my final one that I did. So it's gonna be pretty small. So
Hmm.
so I don't memorize so much.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
whoever's gonna be
amazing.
there, I'll see y'all then.
All right.
Okay.
See y'all tomorrow on Wealth Building Wednesday.
Wealth Building
Yes.
Wednesday.
Woo!
Peace out. Love you all.
Love
God
you all
bless. Thank
too.
you. Thank you. Thank you.